Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your weekly reading for June 16th to the 22nd. This is for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to jump right in. Scorpio, hello. What an amazing week for you. You know, you've got Venus in Taurus, right? You've got that all month long. And so Venus is in her domicile. That's in your seventh house of partnerships and relationships. It feels good. It can be work, it can be career, it can be some legal matters. Marriage looks really great for y'all. There's so much comfort here. You've also got Jupiter in Cancer. Remember, that happened June 9th. And Jupiter's exalted in Cancer. That's in your ninth house. That's absolutely bonkers amazing because that's Jupiter's home, all right? The ninth house. So Jupiter's at home here, exalted in Cancer. You're definitely going to feel the vibe of that, you know, being a fellow water sign like Cancer, your BFF there. But this is amazing. The ninth house is, you know, your worldview, it's spirituality, it's higher mind, it's all of that. Okay, travel may be a really big thing for you for the next year. But this is really great. We're focusing on this week, okay? You may be planning something because here's the thing. You're working with so much new energy too, especially coming after that full moon in Sagittarius. And I know I dropped these forecasts a few days before the actual week, so a lot of y'all may be really still feeling it under the window of that full moon in Sagittarius, the luckiest one of the year. I mean, it's a Jupiter ruled full moon, right? So it's more about new beginnings rather than the endings, even though things could have ended. I mean, that's, you know, Sagittarius rules your second house. So you've got that overlap there because, you know, Taurus natively rules the second house and you have Venus there. So there's something here where there could be money, salary, finances involved. There could be something here with food, by the way, as well, but it's self-worth and self-value and the things that you value, things that bring you pleasure. And with the fact you have Saturn and Neptune Aries in your sixth, it just feels like, you know, there's a connection with the North Node this week as well. The moon will conjunct the North Node in your fifth. There's just so much goodness, right? Really great stuff. Creative projects. There may be new creative project that's coming up. Maybe you're thinking about that. Saturn natively ruling your third. You're thinking about these new steps forward. And it's absolutely amazing. Okay, so let this full moon illuminate. There's lucky, you know, there's strokes of luck around it. That's really nice. There could be something with money here. All right. And it is Jupiter. Like I said, Jupiter rules Sagittarius. The moon actually rules Cancer, where Jupiter is. So you've got that mutual reception. It's actually bonkers. It's really nice. All right. So I do talk a little bit more about it in my last live stream. I'll leave that at the end of the video. This really is a very pivotal week. All right. And one of the reasons why is because you listen, every aspect this week is between 0 to 2 degrees of fresh new beginnings, right? With all these planets and fresh new signs. So you're gonna experience a lot of things that you never have. It's like the next stage, please, right? This ascension. And remember, Saturn and Neptune are conjuncting. They're at 1 degree apart. And so they're between 0 and 1 degrees. Remember, this is all summer long in your sixth house of everyday activities, your routines, health, your lifestyle, work is a big thing. You're possibly getting more assignments. There's a lot happening here, okay? As well as pets. You may be getting pets, but remember, Saturn and Neptune conjuncting their sextile Uranus and Pluto, Pluto being your ruler. There's so much happening. It's hard to keep up with you, Scorpio. So much happening. And I actually did a video on Saturn conjuncting Neptune, sextiling Uranus and Pluto, Uranus trining Pluto. I'll leave that at the end of the video too. But you're definitely exploring new territory, especially because Jupiter, freshly new in Cancer. This is just big. And Uranus trine Pluto, you're going to feel a lot stronger next month. A lot stronger, but you still have a lot of activity here with partnerships, relationships, legal matters, marriage, one-on-one connections. And when I say that, I mean that could be anyone. That could be your lawyer, your agent, your, you know, wedding planner. A lot happening. Okay. Now, Tuesday, June 17th, you got Mars moving into Virgo. So this is where I'm just like, that's why I'm like staring at your chart. I'm like, what? So Mars in Virgo, very different vibe from Mars in Leo, right? This is amazing because two reasons why. Well, first, you have this for 2 months. Use this, please, okay? 2 reasons why. Mars is your ruler. It's your traditional ruler. You're really going to feel this energy. It doesn't matter who, like, all Scorpios are going to feel this energy. And you do really well with Virgo, right? You're a water sign. Virgo's an earth sign. I mean, this is very compatible. And Virgo rules your 11th house of your future hopes, long term goals, wishes, dreams, all of that. So you're really putting things in motion. And then the 11th house is also your social network, groups you belong to, your communities, benefactors, allies, your support system, networking. Very big stuff. Very big stuff because Mars, as you know, also rules Aries. So you feel that in your 6th house of work as well in everyday activities. But then you also have that overlap of Virgo natively rules the 6th house of work, everyday activities, lifestyle, your health, all of that. So you've got this triple overlap happening. Scorpio, this is gonna be a big week for you. Now, Mars and Virgo, very practical, very grounded, very hardworking, very motivated to improve, to, make changes. Just remember, Virgo does have that perfectionist energy, so it could be overly critical, especially with Mars here. I don't think that you're going to have a problem with that because Mars is your ruler. You know Mars well. So, but if there's anything this week with all this Neptunian energy, this fresh Neptunian energy you've never worked with, right? Neptune in Aries, it's been 164 years. Just know that Mars is not seeking perfection, right? You're going to be fine. Nobody's perfect. We're all human. You're going to feel a lot of different things out, all right? This is just big. All right. So anyway, a lot of energy. You're going to feel a lot of energy, a lot of passion, that willpower. You feel very assertive. Please be social. You're going to be very social. Just really ride this energy for the next 2 months. You've got this for 2 months in your 11th house. This is like big picture energy as well. Remember, look at this. Mars sextile Jupiter, right? Over the weekend, 2 degrees, right? Moving into 3 degrees, but this is so strong. You're going to feel it as soon as Mars moves into Virgo. And remember, Jupiter is in Cancer in your 9th house. So you're set for this week. Mars is also physicality. I wouldn't be surprised with the fact that it is in Virgo, that does rule health. If you are just very health conscious, physically active, Virgo rules the hands. You may, go play tennis, but it's in your 11th house. So you're going to go play tennis at the club or with your friends, in a social way. You're going to be very social, right? Creative projects, like that's all happening for you. Now, Wednesday, June 18th, you've got Jupiter square Neptune. 2 degrees. This is a package deal with Jupiter square Saturn that happened over the weekend, right? So you do see that the Sun will square Saturn and Neptune as well. Neptune will be on the 23rd. That's when it perfects, but you're going to feel this 4-way square all week, okay? So we're going to do this in one go. Please do not sign any contracts or agree to anything this week. Neptune can bring that fog, those lower expressions, that fogginess. It's a bit la la land, especially with a lot of new energies, because there could also, remember, Neptune, illusion, delusion, confusion, escapism, those lower expressions. So there could be something here where just don't agree to anything. If you can wait, remember, next week is when you have the luckiest day of the year, conjuncting the new moon, conjuncting Jupiter, the luckiest new moon. So that's that portal of beginning something new. This is just feeling things out. Yeah? It is very head in the clouds with Neptune here. So people could be pressuring you into some things. It could be colleagues. It could be employees. It could be you as well, right? So just bear that in mind. Now, there may be something with travel, like I said, or foreign cultures, foreign lands, as well as publishing, broadcasting, education, teaching, all of that. So try not to agree to anything, especially if you feel someone pressuring you. Secondly, something will 1000% test your belief system, okay? And to be honest, looking at your chart, it may be you testing someone else's belief system. Like, are they in it to win it with me? It could be a circumstance, it could be a person, it could be something around family, loved ones, home, the foundations of your life. I mean, Jupiter is in your ninth house, so I mean that is belief systems, right? Your belief system. So just keep that in mind. Now, another thing with all of these squares, there is potential where you could be really, really hard on yourself. So, and there is potential to be overconfident. That's why, like, if someone if I don't know, because there's so much home activity too. If someone's like, if you're moving and you're looking at houses, there's a realtor that's like, oh, sign that you got to sign this by Tuesday to get this deal. No, you got to wait. Okay. If you don't get that property that you wanted, that's a sign from the universe. You do not want to sign things during a Neptune square and a Saturn square, okay? Trust me on this. But like I said in your June forecast, this is just that week where there's going to be, it's so much cardinal energy. It's Saturn saying, I want you to be that leader, take on that leader role. But there's squares, so there's something testing you here. Saturn's testing you, and it could be, well, Jupiter inflates, right? Saturn constricts. Neptune confuses. Even the Sun in Gemini in the first half of the week. It could be overthinking, over analyzing, self-doubt, too much stimulation as well. All you have to do this week, use the higher expressions, right? Saturn, mastery of self, being real with yourself, right? Jupiter, optimism, self-belief, Neptune, creativity, compassion, all of that, right? Vision boards. So use these energies, the higher expressions, because that's going to help ground you in your authentic self. And even take moments to ask yourself, like, what does my intuition tell me? I mean, Scorpios, listen, y'all are among the most intuitive signs. I feel like I don't have to tell you that. All right. So keep that in mind. Just know there's something here that you won't be able to sit on. Something's asking you to be that spiritual warrior. Jupiter, by the way, always, squeezes something good out of aspects. He is faith and wisdom, but he's also exalted in Cancer. So you already have that. Yeah, you already have that. Just know Saturn, remember, is karma. What did I say? Saturn and Aries, wax on, wax off. It looks more like it could be if there's anyone that's testing you or pressuring you or you're not seeing eye to eye with, colleague, employee, someone you work with, someone, maybe even a doctor, nutritionist, personal trainer, even a vet. I mean, it is your sixth house. So just bear that in mind and just continue to vibrate at that high frequency. Saturn will reward you for passing his little test, okay? And it could even be like the smallest takeaway from this is like, oh, well, I actually handled that really well. And remember, when you vibrate at the high frequency, you barely feel this. Now, June 18th, I'm not sure if I told you this in your monthly forecast, so I'm going to say it here. I want you to think about February 24th. I want you to ask yourself around that time, give it a day or two, 2 days before and after, what was going on? What was something that you wanted that you couldn't get? And it was not fun. All right? Because what's happening on June 18th, Mercury, which remember is in Cancer at this point, is going to be at 17 degrees. Mars went direct February 24th in Cancer at 17 degrees. So Mercury's picking up a vibration of that. And Mercury is the messenger. And so Mercury, I think at this point for you, there could be something that you're getting that you couldn't get around that time. Because remember, Mars had no energy in Cancer and couldn't deliver. So pay attention to what may happen around this morning, this day. All right. It could be in the form of the message, communication, DM, something with contracts, something with education, school, like an acceptance letter that could have even been lost in the mail. A lot of different ways this could turn out. All right. Also something with travel or from someone overseas, possible. Book publishing as well, broadcasting. Now, Friday, June 20th, welcome to Cancer season. Happy summer, Scorpio. Happy winter in the southern hemisphere, and happy solstice. And that is a key word, solstice. Yeah? Sol, sun, solstice, right? So this is an important day that for thousands of years, has always been marking a point in time, that passage of time, right? The ancients, okay? The time of most light, sunlight, ancient monuments. It didn't matter if it's Stonehenge, Giza, they always marked this moment because it marks the season of planting to growing. So for the next 4 weeks, especially in Cancer season, it's all about growth, emotional growth, and expansion. Jupiter's here, right? So emotional abundance. It's beautiful. It's amazing. Cancer, water sign like you, emotions, right? Cancer, the crab lives in water, carries its home on its back. That's why Cancer rules the house, the home, the domestic sector, family, security, nurturing, all of that. Emotional grounding. You're going to feel this. You're going to embrace these energies, that maternal, paternal side. It is very leader as well. Yeah. Mama bear energy. Cancer is a cardinal side, but it is in your ninth house. So there's something here where I see for you this huge shift in perspective that is insanely optimistic with Jupiter here. Just know that you're going to go through a lot of different emotions. It's intuition as well. Remember, the moon rules Cancer, right? So intuition, emotions, the unconscious. But just go with this ebb and flow of emotions, like the tides, yeah, controlled by the moon. So it's just really nice. Go with the flow with the go, but truly marking this new beginning for you, the solstice, for growth. And remember, you have Mercury, Jupiter, and the sun in Cancer now, the stellium, amplifying your ninth house of higher mind, inner wisdom, spirituality, your belief system, your perspective on things, but also travel. Long distance travel, and if not physical travel of the mind. Yeah, going to places like that's what I'm talking about. Your perspective shifting, like going to places that you just thinking about things that you never have before. But it is willpower as well, and bringing in this confidence. Now, Sunday, we talked about the squares, but you got Mars sextile Jupiter. All right, so remember what I said in your monthly forecast. Rare. We don't even get it next year. It didn't happen again until 2027. All right, so use this. Whew, you're going to feel it all week. This is amazing. Absolutely amazing, because there's just something really exciting happening for you with Mars and Virgo in your 11th house. Very exciting. And remember, sextiles are windows of opportunity that helps you grow and thrive and prosper. And remember, you got to take the action, though. I feel like I don't have to tell you that because Mars is your ruler. You will. In Virgo, you will, and you're going to do it. You're going to be very practical, even maybe eagle-eyed, like paying attention to details for a lot of things. And then there's this expansion. And this is why I want you to be social for the next 2 months, Scorpio. 11th house, like I said, is networking. So a lot of the people that you know can introduce you to other people. Remember, expansion, right? With that Jupiter energy as well. That can connect you to your future hopes and wishes and long-term goals and aspirations and dreams. So again, I'm seeing what's happening for you, and it's just very, very exciting. It's very optimistic. There's luck, expansion, all these blessings. Now, if you are cross-watcher, if you watch for your rising, your moon, or for your husband, or for your turtle, whatever it is, all the water signs, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and the earth signs, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, and I'm going to throw in Sagittarius and Aries. Those signs are going to feel this the most, all right? But this is strong. These are two inner planets, Mars and Jupiter, in fresh new signs. This is strong. You're going to feel it all week and the week after. Everyone's going to feel it. If you know your natal chart, your birth chart, if you have any planets between 0 to 4 degrees, any of the signs I just mentioned, you will feel it. But I did tell you, in the last live stream I did, if you have any planets between 0 to 4 degrees in any sign with everything that's happening, that means everyone's going through change. Every sign. Anyway, Scorpio, y'all are definitely, I'm just really excited for you, seeing what's going on for you. All right, let's see what's going on for you now. Scorpio, for June 16th to the 22nd. Scorpio, y'all crack me up. Stop. Okay. Yes, Scorpio. I do a traditional Celtic cross spread. Offers the best overview, especially for a weekly reading. If we need to pull clarifiers, yeah, we will. Secondly, Scorpio, y'all are amazing. Listen. You got a lot. There's just so much happening for y'all. I'm very excited. This is going to be a wonderful summer for you. Okay, a wonderful summer. Oh my goodness. I'm going to tell you something else just before I even start. Now, we're going to talk about this in the second spread. We have 3 really powerful conjunctions with the lunations. There is something you're going to feel deep in your bones. And then this weekend, I would not be surprised because we have the moon conjunct the North Node. This weekend, I would not be surprised if it is like your best weekend all year. If you are here for love, relationships, and you may be signing something, okay? You are definitely signing some. There's legal matters, big legal matters all week for you, and next week as well. But this weekend, we will have the moon conjunct Venus and Taurus the first time in a year. Yeah? You don't get that again for another year. The moon is exalted in Taurus. You have Venus in Taurus in its home. Pay attention over the weekend. All right. Now let's oh yeah. This is a big week of change. Oh, you're going through some big old change. But it's almost like, it's really funny. There's your test, right? So I can't even, you can't, you got me speechless. Okay? Where do I even start? This is the biggest change. You got the Emperor. Okay? Yeah? There you go. You're owning it. There's that mastery of self I talked about. In fact, the Emperor is Aries. You see the rams in his throne. Look at the long white beard for wisdom. What I talk about, Jupiter, Cancer in your 9th house. Yeah? That inner wisdom. This is an authority. What I talk about with Saturn, Neptune, and Aries, everything that's happening for you, all this cardinal energy, this is you truly being your authentic self. And he's the emperor. He's the emperor of the land, right? He's got a lot of power. So you're moving into a lot more power, okay? You got the world in your hands. You got the Egyptian Ankh in your other. It's this driving life force, yeah? And again, with everything happening this week, I'm not surprised. And there is almost a sense of like people seeing you as this authority, all right? And I want you to feel that too. Okay? You're this authority, you're this leader. Very maternal, paternal energy. Remember, this is divine masculine, very masculine energy, but he's still like the father of tarot. So again, that paternal side, that maternal side is just masculine energy. You got all this Aries energy. And it's not just Saturn and Neptune. Remember, you got Chiron in Aries. You have Eris in Aries. You have so much other stuff happening in that Aries area of your chart of everyday activities. Now, you also have the 5 of Pentacles and the heart of your spread. There is something here. When I look at what's happening, right? When you got that 10 of Wands and the Ace of Swords, and even you throw in that Page of Swords, yeah? And you throw in that Tower of your future. Out with the old, in with the new. That is all this is saying. There's something that you have to recognize, something that may be holding you back. And there is this, it's almost like there's this like disconnect in terms of, sure, like your physical world, your physical reality, your physical mind. Yeah. The difference between the physical mind and the higher mind. We need to have that shift. Okay. This has been happening in a few other signs, and you're a water sign, so you would get this. You have no cups. There's that, let's connect with the intuition, with the emotion, with the feelings. But yeah, there's got to be something here where you may feel tested, like these 2 people. So I've already told you how to work with that energy. Work with that energy, because now you see you really will be tested. And it can be something with finances, with money. But it's more about your physical world. It may be something like a relationship. It may be something like a boss. It may be something with, work that's tied to salary. But there is something new on the other side. But it's recognizing that something's holding you back. And you've got to see what it is. And you can't keep holding on to this with the old and with the new. But something will definitely test you spiritually. They're outside of church. Speaking of spiritually, right? They got all that support, all that comfort. Just they can literally touch the wall, right? That's how close they are, but they refuse to see it. So again, there is this. We've got to really, tap into our spiritual side. Again, it just feels like something or someone is going to be testing you. You could be doing the same thing, right? To test your belief system. Yeah. And it's there. Or, it's something that you realize this isn't working. Okay. And it can be a partnership too. Mostly career related, but you got the Page of Swords. Mm-hmm. And your challenge area. So, are you sure you've got to really focus on this? Because when you do the math with all of this, are you sure you're really putting attention on something in a way where you should be putting attention as in, let's focus on this, but bring it all in, not just mind, heart and soul, intuition, all of that. Yeah. Because the Page of Swords is pretty young. And he's in your challenge area. So there's something here that may be new for you that you're just, let's get a better grasp on what's happening. It is Neptune. Like I said, it's going to bring some fog. So should that happen, ask yourself, what is holding me back? And if it's in the back of your head, you've got to answer to that instead of just keeping it back there. You've got to let it come to the front. As I said, time and time again, 90% of what's up here is the subconscious. It's only 10% that's the conscious, and you want to expand your consciousness, right? And the subconscious is where we store our memories. The other thing is, it may be another person, but a little bit younger than you, kind of like intern energy. It can be someone who that may not even be young, but someone who is not seeing eye to eye with you, and you're finding that person has like this immaturity around them, or they're not thinking logically. Right. So again, there's that test. Yeah. How are you going to operate in that situation? Now, you do have that 10 of Wands in your crown. So something has to end. You can't keep going on like this. You can't keep going on like this. And you know it. It's in your crown. 10 is the end, though. So there you go. You drop a couple of those wands, you're going to be able to see. You're going to be able to see through that Neptune fog, but also through those wands. He can't see where he's going at all. So it's almost like, there's a little bit of like, it's almost like you're bringing some burden on top of yourself when you don't have to. That's the thing. Okay. You have the Ace of Swords and the root of your spread. And so deep down inside, it's almost like you're craving this breakthrough, this mental breakthrough, this success, this, a moment of like true perception, this new way of seeing things and victory in a certain situation. But there's all of this on top of it. Okay? So let things come to the surface. Yeah? And face them because you got the Tower. All right? In your future. Now, here's the thing. You got the Emperor, Aries, Mars, the Tower, Mars. Yeah? Attributed Mars. Your traditional ruler. Saturn. Okay? So you've got the malefics here. All right? There's something here where I honestly just think that the tower is the best thing for you at this point. There, you can see that something here is not working, and the universe is saying, "Oh, that's not working. We're gonna bring you a little surprise." And here's the thing: you're coming after the Mars-Uranus square anyway. Did you let something go then? Right? That was over the weekend too. That was something. If there's something that you need to let go, and you didn't, the universe is gonna find a way to like have you face that. So it's better that you take on everything that you have to do. But anyway, I actually don't mind it with that. It's like that's the thing that, allows you to see. When that tower falls, you can see. Yeah, it's Phoenix rising from the ashes. You got the couple falling out of the tower. You got the couple here. So again, when I say partnerships, relationships may be a thing for you. And I'm not saying like you have to end something. You have to recognize, is there something about this that can make, that we can talk about, right? Or improve to make things easier. No? Anyway. Let's get to your staff, Scorpio. Yeah. Yeah. I'll clarify. I'll clarify some of those. Yep. If you like this reading, would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what's going on. You're going to have, this is actually a really great week, but you've got to get through this little test. And again, the higher your frequency, easier it'll be. All right. You know, I love y'all. All right. Scorpio. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Something had to end. Something had to end. Okay. But you wanted it. Oh my gosh. You wanted it. Look. 2 aces in this, like, you wanted it. And it is a solstice. It's this new beginning. So let me just, well, let's do this first. You got the 7 of Pentacles. Yeah. So there you go. There's your affirmation. Yeah. Is this working? Just ask yourself that this week. Don't make any big decisions until next week, right? Process things. Neptune really is going to be a thing. Saturn's going to be a thing. Jupiter in the 9th is going to be a thing. Ask yourself, is this working? If not, and I want it to, because I feel it deep in my bones, how will I make it? And I need, and this is a, you know, I need everyone to see eye to eye here, okay? You see he's looking in the past too. Remember, it's all about moving forward. All right, you got the 3 of Swords. So, again, it's very likely in your external factors area, it's very, very, very likely there's something that, you know, you have to do, but you don't want to hurt someone else in the process, or it might be hard for you to do something because you're so used to a certain situation. But I've been telling you to, it's like out with the old, in with the new for many months now. Okay. You're working with new energies. You can't bring old stuff into this, you know, huge new shift in your life, this new era. You can transform things. But the things that you don't need is what I'm saying. So there's that. And yeah, again, if you don't do it, universe is going to kind of like lend a helping hand. And that may be hard for you. But again, it's all about emotional growth. You had to go through this experience. Everyone has to go through this little squeeze. It's not just your sign. It's every sign has to go through this squeeze. It's Saturn, karma testing you. How's the Scorpio going to handle this situation? It's Wands. You want this new thing. You got the 10 of Wands. It's Wands. You want this new thing. You got the Magician as well. So Wands, your passions, ambitions. There is a little bit of, well, I'm going to see something later, again, when I clarify, but it's work. It's career. It's like, there's something you got to get out of, okay? There's all this new. There's all this new that you want. With a Magician, your final outcome, it's there. It's there. You just got to get through this week. All right? Remember, the new moon next week, it's just this new cycle kicking off for you. That's amazing. And the Magician, it's the beginning of the Fool's journey. So when I say you're going, there's a brand new journey for you. You're going this brand new era. He's got the power to manifest anything he wants. This is feeling all that passion merged with spirit, especially for you with Jupiter and Cancer in the 9th. Yeah. Mars in Virgo, you feeling it all about your future. This is starting. It's that first step, because the Magician is all about action. You're going to take that action. As above, so below. Infinite possibilities when you take that first step. Take that action, but you gotta. All right. What else am I gonna? Okay, I wanted to clarify that 5 of Pentacles. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, like I said, something with partnerships, relationships. You have the Knight of Cups, Knight in Shining Armor. Yeah. And again, for some of y'all, yeah, it's going to be ending one. And it can be career. It can be one-on-one. Like you're, again, like a lawyer, agent that's not doing enough for you. You know, things like that. You gotta, yeah. Um, but at the end of the day, it's just you filling your cup. There's a lot, and think of things in different ways. That use that higher expressions of Neptune, right? Because Knight of Cups has oh my gosh, so much creative energy with the Knight of Cups and that imagination. You even see the wings of imagination on his helmet, his shoes. Like, use it, okay? But at the end of the day, it's all about filling your cup. So even if you're not here for partnerships, relationships, or any of that, what do you need for you to move forward to feel emotionally fulfilled? Okay? And then you're good. But yeah, there's going to be something that. Mm-hmm. But there's your cup. Remember saying you got no cups, but there's your cup. So you got to let that go. That one thing, or just work with it. It's a week of adjustments. Anyway, Scorpio, y'all are amazing. Thanks so much. Next week, big week. And listen, it's not only because of, and we'll talk about it next week, right? We have the new moon in Cancer. We have the luckiest day next year, but we also have a lot of other things happening. We have the Sun sextile Mars. We have Mercury moving into Leo. So you're not even finished with that Leo story, your career, fame, all of that. You have Mercury moving there. You know, Mars was there for 2 months, now handing it off to Mercury. And the second spread, yeah, we have the moon conjunct Chiron. Y'all, we have the moon, I said, conjunct Venus. And then we have, oh my gosh, the moon conjunct the North Node. That's right, in your 5th house of true love and romance and joy and pleasure and sex and family, children, creativity, creative projects. Like, you have a lot happening this week emotionally with the moon. We'll talk about, and Juno in your sign. We have a water trine that you're involved in. We'll talk about the second spread. Tier 3 members, really good, and legendary members, you know where to find the link. Anyone's welcome to join. But that I see now. I see why. That's a big thing. Anyway, you're going to be fine. You're going to be good. There's going to be something that ends, but let that be your moment, okay? You've got to end something, okay? And again, it just maybe you just have to make an adjustment in something that's holding you back. Scorpio, y'all are amazing. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.